Chad, I'm confused because Hegseth tweeted, and I quote, America's youth want to serve under the bold and strong America First leadership of Donald Trump, end quote. Are you saying that's not the case?
I'm saying when you hire a drunken frat boy as your Secretary of Defense, anything could come out of his fucking mouth.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. It's the podcast that's bigger than cable TV and or drugs. Hi, kids. It's the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Penniless Cheeseman.
This is Chad, Violets or Blue Sowash.
And this is JT Wyman, the only person dressed for the holiday, O'Donnell.
And on this episode, Phenom says, hold my beer. Then OnlyFans, more like only bots. Am I right? Let's do this.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
Yeah, so JT remembered it was the Valentine's Day, which is nice, and I don't have anything hot pink to wear, or I probably would have done that.
Because you gentlemen are busy buying amazing gifts for your wives that you were so busy you forgot to dress, right? That's
exactly. Yeah, no, I think the amazing trips, let's just say that, gifts, trips, just
trips,
bounced around through Spain. So I think we're good. I think we're really good. I'll
put a bow on the pool in my backyard that I didn't want. I have a 5-year pass on romantic nice gifts. No,
is there an agreement behind that? Is she signed that?
Yeah, well, nothing's signed, but I'm sure it's somewhere. It's somewhere. What? So JT, you're obviously in the Valentine's Day mode. Like, does your husband typically do romantic things? No,
he's a pilot. He's flying. I'm solo. Yeah, so I'm just celebrating by myself.
Better than
take it where you want to. Take it where you want to.
Better than no celebration at all.
Who do you love more than yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Make sure that you have plenty of batteries. You'll be good to go.
Yeah.
And here we go.
We had the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Takeaways, Chad, thoughts.
Well, first and foremost, let's talk about the prediction, shall we? So Joel's
I'll
prediction.
set you up on that one, yeah.
Joel's prediction: Kansas City 34, Philadelphia 35. Chad's prediction: Kansas City 23. Philadelphia 42. Oh, that was good. That was good. Kansas, the end score 22-40. I was only 3 points off.
Yeah, that's good
in total.
That's
so,
good.
But I'm going to tell you right now, the winner of that game, Philadelphia's front four. They didn't blitz the entire game, and Mahomes had no chance. No chance. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad game. Not one of the more memorable games. I just couldn't believe how overwhelmed Mahomes was and just how dominant that defense was. I couldn't help but think how much I'd rather be watching Josh Allen and or Lamar deal with that. Like it just, it sucked. The halftime show, people are raving. I don't know. I'm too old. I don't get it.
I loved it.
The commercials kind of meh. I mean, I'm kind of down on the best part.
Did you have a favorite commercial? How about you, JT? Did you have a favorite commercial?
Yeah, Channing Tatum. Anything Channing Tatum.
Oh, go figure. Go figure. Yeah. Other than like a hot dude.
That's not a sexist comment, is it? It's not a sexist.
I'm on the right show, right?
Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah, you are.
Might as well.
I mean, for me, like I know I'm with Chad. Like anything that pulls on the heartstrings with fathers and daughters, like is a winner. And you had the Audi commercial a few years ago.
Yeah,
Google brought it this year with the dad. Like it was kind of employment related. He was updating his resume, and the experience is based on his daughter. And at the end, she goes to college. It's very, very cliche. But I teared up. I got choked up. So I'll go with Google as a good commercial. But by and large, the Duncan was kind of funny. I mean, Belichick's girlfriend, 23-year-old girlfriend in that commercial was kind of funny. That was kind of a nice little dag. And then the Meg Ryan, Billy Crystal reunion commercial. That was
that for me. I mean, Harry Met Sally. That is iconic as it was, and then you make it into a Hellman's Mayo commercial. I mean, that even made it more funny. But the best
I don't know
line,
if it made Hellman's more appealing, though.
Oh yeah, no shit. Right?
Orgasms and Hellman's.
I'll have what she's having. I'll have what she's having. But the best line, I think, was from GoDaddy, the commercial with Walter Goggins. They said, if your goggles ain't Goggins, they don't belong on your noggins. It's just stupid shit.
I'm taking crazy pills.
$8 million for 30 seconds.
Woo. That's crazy, dude.
I remember when it was $1 million in the 90s and people freaked out. Now it's $8 million.
Yeah, back in the monster days, man. Yeah. It wasn't quite that expensive.
The best part, I don't know if you saw this, John Rocker, who I think Chad will know, a very abrasive pitcher from the 90s, early 2000s. Said some really nasty stuff. Yeah. Anyway, he apparently got into it with Mahomes Sr., Patrick's dad, who played baseball and apparently knows him. Anyway, they got into sort of a scuffle, and Barstool Sports, who does a box, it's called Rough and Rowdy, and they have idiots fight each other. Apparently Rocker and Mahomes have agreed to go in the ring and fight on the Rough and Rowdy in a month or so. So that'll be probably more entertaining than the Super Bowl. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be like Rocker. Another Tyson Jake
He's
Paul
still
fight.
On roids, by the way. Rocker's still juicing like a mother.
Big surprise. Big surprise.
It's all blown up.
Yeah.
Chad, we've been told that we have a face for podcasting.
Yeah, speak for yourself, man. One thing that I do know, and I just got this from the analytics department over at YouTube and Sergey, our video guy, 80% of the people who actually watch our videos are loyal watchers. They're back, right? They don't hit the subscribe button. So, hey kids, hit the subscribe button. Tell them why, Joel.
Let's be honest. They're not. There's some degenerates listening to the show on a regular basis. But yes, I think if you're not tuned into us on YouTube, you're missing some exclusives that you can't get on the show. You're getting outfits that I don't normally wear on the show, or does Chad. Euro Chad, you can't really appreciate Euro Chad unless you see Chad. The voice doesn't really come out. You get to see me in glamorous locations. Like right now, I'm in Canada visiting the in-laws. If you couldn't tell, I'm in a Canadian state of mind. So you're missing out on a lot if you're not watching us on YouTube and just listening to us on your favorite podcast platform of choice.
So, all right, let's hit some shout outs.
Yeah,
right,
let's go.
Let's get to some shout outs.
Is it time for shout outs?
Shout outs, as you know, is sponsored by our friends up north, Kiora. That's smarter, easier texting. By the way, 4 nations in hockey. Canada won, beat Sweden in a overtime match yesterday.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah, there's 6 nations rugby, and now hockey's doing 4 nations. Finland, Sweden, Canada, and the U.S.
No clue.
The heartbeat of hockey, the U.S. That's where all the money is, though. Okay, so I'm gonna start off the shout outs, and I'm inspired by JT. It's Valentine's Day. This show drops on Valentine's Day. You know, maybe you're kind of, time is running out. You haven't come up with a gift. You haven't come with something for that special someone. Well, your boy here is here to help. Okay. Now, typically something like a heart-shaped pizza from Pizza Hut would be perfectly fine.
That's your go-to.
The heart-shaped pizza from Pizza Hut is awesome. That's guaranteed to get you some loving. But I'm gonna up your game, everybody. Okay. Feel free to call me Cupid, because I have the killer option for that special someone. It's called White Castle, everybody. That's right. White Castle, one day a year. They have like table service. They have white cloth. They have really nice table settings. You got the salt shaker and the pepper shaker, all the stuff. They've been doing this for 34 years, and they for one day they transfer the White Castle to the Love Castle. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking special decor, hostess seating. They're even on Open Table. And yes, I checked just because I was curious. They're all booked in my area.
Imagine that.
in northern Indiana. And don't forget the strawberry cheesecake dessert on a stick, Chad. If you go to White Castle, nothing says slide next to me, honey, like a plate full of sliders. So my shout out goes out to White Castle.
Yeah, Joel loves that because he can do the Dutch oven version of Valentine's Day later that night.
It would make for an interesting after hours.
Oh, that's horrible.
Going to White Castle.
Horrible. JT, get us out of this.
Good luck
Jesus.
topping that one, JT.
Yeah. So my shout outs to Anthrop, who announced that they now have a job seeker rules of engagement. Let's call it that. They've let job seekers know that they cannot use AI when applying to their jobs, even though they're one of the largest AI companies in the world.
The
One of
AI
the largest
company.
in the
Okay.
world.
Okay. Yeah.
They have made it clear that they do not want you answering their questions using AI, and that if you are caught, you will be banned from ever being considered. I actually think this is going to be a beginning of a trend, depending on, I've talked to so many recruiters and companies who are just slammed, right, with bots and people who are relevant, and they don't know how to handle this. And so, them making this announcement, don't use AI when you apply to our AI company.
Is this the
FUD?
Is this the FUD strategy? Like put fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the heads of a job seeker and like scare them into not using it? Because I don't know, tracking that would be a real bitch.
Yep, it speaks to the death of the resume,
reasonable.
I'm going to keep harping on that. Like, what's the point at this point? Everybody makes up resumes so badly that we're going to see some amazing tech this year just to get rid of all of that. But yeah, new guidelines by one of the biggest AI companies in the world. Don't use AI.
It's a trend.
Amazing. Yeah. Anthropic probably has a shitty applicant tracking system. That's why. Shout out
Did anyone check and see who it is? Okay.
Yeah, not yet. I haven't gone there yet.
Right.
My shout out is to Matt Baxter, CEO and chairman of Wedge HR. Why? Because he sent me. Oh, look at this, kids. Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
He knows how to dress for Valentine's Day.
If you're not watching on YouTube,
Valentine's
thank your
Day.
lucky star.
Yeah. So he sent me a little something I wanted to share with the fans. This is a calendar. Oh yeah, there's 12 of these. 12. You got to take a gander. It is amazing, and all the way to Christmas. Oh, that's the way that you give a present, kids. Shout out to Matt Baxter for beating Cheeseman to the punch, which means the only one thing, a Joel Cheeseman 2026 Speedo calendar is coming out. I can see it happening.
No.
Get ready. Shout out to Matt Baxter.
60% of the time.
Way to push it, man. Way to push it.
So I have a funny side story to this. Last year, 2 years ago, I bought my wife a dog pooping calendar. It's just pictures of dogs taking poops in like famous locations.
Why?
It's hilarious because I'm a funny guy, Chad. I make jokes and I do funny shit. So anyway,
that's fucking bad.
She kind of read the riot act that's not cool. Like that's not funny to her. So I just stopped doing it. But the calendar went on our kitchen pantry door. On the inside, obviously. So when we threw that one out, I ended up getting this calendar from Wedge. And my 7-year-old is like, can we put this up where the dog poop calendar used to go? And both my wife and I, like in sync, were like, no. So,
okay, two things. First of all, the poop calendar should have gone like on the snacks cabinet, because talk about a way to get people to not do it.
There it is.
Secondly, have you ever heard the phrase that everybody thinks they have style and a sense of humor, my friend? Because I can see why your wife was
Joel
like,
has it in spades when it comes to this.
Never again. You now consult before you do gifts like this.
This is why we have women on the show now.
Exactly.
So I get some guidance and some structure in my life.
I mean,
Thank you.
not everybody got one of these sexy things
jealous.
for free. Although you can go to chadcheese.com/free free t-shirts from our friends over at Aaron app. That's right. You might not be wearing the red clown shoes, although you can wear the Chad and Cheese t-shirt with Aaron App on the back. It's pretty awesome. Bourbon barrel aged syrup from our friends up north, Kiora. Bourbon barrel aged. That's Pappy's bourbon.
Our show, you hoser.
Yep. Craft beer from the data geeks over at Aspen Tech Labs. Whiskey, maybe chicken cock. You never know. From our friends at Van Hack.
And I love chicken cock. I do. I love it.
I know, Stephen. I know you do. And if it's your birthday, it's rum from Plum. You could possibly win rum from Plum. Go to chadcheese.com/free to register to possibly win.
I can feel it all the way down in my plum.
That's right, Chad. Another trip around the sun for Alicia Buchler, Lucas Roscoe, Katie Gentry, John Tehan, Kevin Logue, Alan, Jason Bourne, Laura Martinelli, Nikos Lavatis, Paul Norman, Christy Carpenter Turnley, Jenny Cody Kangas, also known as
JCK.
That's right. And Scott Stump. Round out our birthdays for the week. Happy birthday, listeners.
Happy birthday.
And guess what? It's events time. What does Stephen have to say?
What does Stephen have to say? So many things.
Events! Where are we going, boys?
Oof. Well, on the road with Shaker Marketing. Look at this. Look at this. Is that not sexy or what? Hard case from Shaker. Yep, that new stuff. Might have to get you one of those, JT.
I would love one of those.
So on the road travel, sponsored by Shaker Recruitment Marketing. We talked about last week was with Joe in Madrid. So much wine, so much fucking wine. But what's coming up? You can spend St. Patrick's Day with Chad and Cheese in Vegas during Transform at the Wynn, March 17th through the 19th. JT's going to be there. Mo's going to be there. Chad, Cheese, we're going to be there. Go to chadcheese.com/events. Register, see you at Transform. You can also register, get ready, to kick back, have a discussion, and some free drinks with the Chad and Cheese, courtesy of Omar and the JobPixel team. And no, Cheeseman, Omar did not splurge for the face tattoo and the tiger package. Okay, we're
lies. Oh, lies.
Go to chadcheese.com. On the homepage, you'll be able to click on register, and it's a honeymoon suite waiting list. That's a tongue twister.
Don't tease me,
that's
Chad.
What you can actually get. There you go. It's a teaser.
Don't tease me, Chad. Don't tease me. All right.
Topics.
Fucking
All right.
Steven.
Well, I feel like this is going to be a trend, but we have some layoffs this week. Yep. That's right. Some industry and some otherwise. Workday is cutting 1,750 jobs, affecting around 8% of its workforce as it leans into AI to counter what it says is a softer macroeconomic environment. Also, HCM platform Justworks is laying off 200 of its almost 1,500 employees, citing a possible recession, rising interest rates, and a trade war as reasons for the decision. But wait, there's more, Chad and JT. Meta is laying off some 3,600 folks, representing about 5% of its headcount. Methinks this is a trend that we'll be talking about a lot in the months to come. Chad, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, we're always blaming something on the layoffs, right? It's either return to office, or we're trying to force layoffs. Now it's going to be AI. We're going to be blaming AI. We're embracing AI. We're doing layoffs. I mean, there's always a blame and an excuse happening. So yeah, go figure. Workday, known for their AI, is going to be doing that, of course.
Yeah, the Facebook one I find super interesting because they call it a layoff, but then they made it very clear that these were people who were low performers. They made it like it's in the news, and you were laid off because you have been labeled a low performer. So imagine going out looking for a job right now and going, "Yeah, I was one of the 3,600 laid off recently." Oh, so you're a low performer? Yeah. You know, I mean, that was a triple slap in the face if you want to do that. And over 40% of companies have said they're going to lay off this year. We've been calling this for a while. I will say the AI thing, I get it. It's a really easy way to explain it, but I am seeing a lot of companies just realizing we can get people for cheaper. We can teach them how to leverage technology like AI. Let's redo the salary bands. This white collar job recession, I just don't think it's going away anytime soon. I think it's going to be a rough year for your 6-figure folks.
We're hitting all time. all-time high revenues, and how can we actually drive down wages? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I love Chad's take on like the rolling reason to lay people off,
constant.
whether it's return to office. Okay, we'll lose about 5% on that one. Okay, well shit, we still have, it's still too heavy. What are we going to blame? Tariffs, potential recession. That's all very fun because you can't just say AI can do these jobs apparently that people are doing, or we can pay like people a lot less than that. So and I love that Zuck is doing his best Jack Welch imitation, that we're just cutting the low performers. That's an easy answer. That's
Handbook.
an easy answer.
The meatloaf! Fuck!
All right, well, let's get to some industry news. Phenom, based in Philly, so they're probably having a good time this week, acquired Edge, a talent mobility software provider for global capability centers, or GCCs. The acquisition aims to enhance Phenom's AI capabilities and workforce planning through Edge's technology, which they say has shown a significantly improvement on internal hiring processes and resource management. Financial details were not disclosed. Edge had previously raised about $4.6 million. Phenom CEO had a little video explaining the reason why. Take a look.
Hi everyone, we're excited to announce a new acquisition. The company we're acquiring is called as Edge. And Edge is primarily focused on one thing, that is resource planning and workforce intelligence, specifically on 3 different industries. One is professional services, the second one is IT services, and the global capability centers, what these companies actually built across the globe. We're excited about the company because what Edge has built in the last 5 years, the ontologies they have built through the talent interactions, through the talent skills evolution, and how people are moving within the projects and within the companies and their customers is very beautifully orchestrated. We are bringing all of this to every industry based on what we have learned from Edge. This is very important because almost every industry right now is thinking about reskilling and upskilling and really making the talent mobility a primary factor for your future growth. You can replace thousands of contractors with internal employees. At the same time, you can think about really moving people between projects, between business units within 2 weeks. So that can reduce your time to staffing in a much more authentic format. And those are the things what we want to bring to our customers.
Reskilling, upskilling, replacing contractors. Chad, the story is getting one that's coming up often. What are your thoughts on this acquisition?
Yeah, I mean, as we see more talent acquisition professionals and chief people officers truly understand what and where talent impacts the business, where it's the bottom line, by the way, we've seen a movement toward combining talent acquisition and talent management into a single talent function that represents and manages the entire life cycle. So the TAM, the total addressable market, is much larger with this acquisition. It's harder to manage, but movement toward bigger money makes your investors happy, especially since consolidation will and should move toward a singular talent function. From a competitive standpoint, will this give Phenom an edge? Get it? It does provide better narrative for their ability to land and expand customers. But as we all know, it's about focus and execution. Broadening the TAM like this kills the focus and forces a company to burn more cash or just install the tech, set it and forget it, which we all know doesn't work. Taleo was acquired by who? I mean, we talk about acquisitions that have happened all throughout the years by HCM companies. This is kind of happening the other way around. It's still a focus issue. Will they have the money? Will they have the investment to be able to do so? So they'll have to grow staff as they move down funnel. And it's going to be a lot harder to actually manage. Good for Phenom. Great for Edge. Don't get me wrong. But as we see, and we're going to see more of this, more companies move down funnel toward talent management. It depends on how fast they go down funnel. If they slowly baby step down funnel, it's one thing. If they take warp speed approaches like this seems to be, it could be very hard to manage. We're going to have to step back and watch.
Another one.
This one was weird to me. Last week we talked about Paradox making an acquisition, and they created a video with the founders, the CEOs of both organizations. It was warm and fuzzy. It felt really good. This was weird because I get a lot of press releases, and usually in every press release, there's a link to the company that's getting acquired.
Oh yeah.
There's no link to Edge in the press release. That's weird. Usually you're proud, like, check it out, look at who we bought. So I had to dig around about what's the URL, what's going on. I went to LinkedIn. I didn't find it there. There's a ton of Edge companies. So I was like, well, okay, let's keep digging. I looked. I finally found a news report from 2017 where they had raised some money. It was like $4.5 million. Good raise. I got the CEO and founder's name, a guy named Arjan Pratap. And so I looked up him on LinkedIn. He's there. And then I finally found the company. So I don't know if they made it unsearchable or something weird. So it looks like a stable company. They've kind of they've been pretty steady in headcount. They're typical people are there for a long time. However, I did see that they hired a COO in May of 24 who left in November of 24. Usually when you hire COO and they're gone within 6 months, like something happened that's not great. Either they found something wrong or they were sold a bill of goods. I don't know. But there was a concerted effort in this announcement to like just say Edge. Don't ask questions about where. If you go to their URL, it goes directly to Phenom. They didn't give it any time to sort of percolate and let people find out what they're doing. So I don't even know exactly what they do or what companies are customers. Like it's very, very cloak and dagger. I do know that they have 3 primary products, which they had in their LinkedIn. They have Pathfinder, which is your upskilling stuff. They do have a recruitment product called Edge Recruit. That was not mentioned in the video. And then mobility, which was find the right person internally for the right job. So this reeks of sort of, we have a check box that you can check off, but it doesn't really reek of, we just acquired a kick-ass company with an awesome leadership team and great employees, and we're going to bring them into Phenom. It just reeks of like either desperation, check it off, we need to do this. It's kind of weird. I'm going to watch it, but it has all the elements of like, let's save this dying horse. They were founded in 2012, so they've been around for a while. Let's save this sinking company, say that we have upskilling, and then let's move on and hope that no one asks questions. But we have this show that asks questions.
So yeah, I have an observation and then a question for you two about it. So watching the video gives me the vibes of back when IBM was pushing the idea of, are you fungible? This is the first time I'd ever heard that term. And they talked about they had built this incredible spreadsheet or tool that could tell them where all their bench was and how you could then redeploy this. This is like 15 years ago, right? So we've been talking about this idea of redeploying talent and how do we do this, I feel like forever. So that's the vibe I got from that. But the question I have for you both is, if I read it right, this is like the 6th acquisition they've made.
Yes.
So that does scream to me like, hey, we're trying to show you that we're putting together this incredible tech stack really fast. And I know that story plays well for people, especially maybe the less informed. But you know, I think to your point, Joel, like, is it checking a box? Is it just another acqui-hire? Are they cashing in right now? Companies that aren't making it, can they get them for a low price? It certainly sounds like that based on what they saw, but I defer to the pros.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you look back at their acquisitions, most of them are India based. Nothing wrong with India, but they tend to be companies that no one knows. We don't see them at conferences. Sure. We don't. So they're sort of a mystery. Maybe they're great deals. Maybe they're great acqui-hires and great technology, but they're just not in the zeitgeist of what Chad and I do on a regular basis. They're kind of out of sight, out of mind, and then they're automatically acquired, and we have to comment on it, but we don't know shit about them, especially if there's no website or no, like, if they, hide the crumbs, it's hard to make a comment. So anyway, it is what it is. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk a little bit more layoffs. How about that?
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough, but with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
All right, guys, this is from the Wall Street Journal this week. A new report says the tech sector unemployment has surged from 3.9% to 5.7% in 1 month. With 152,000 layoffs attributed to AI displacing jobs, particularly in software development and white-collar roles. Despite this, in-person and skilled jobs remain competitive. Major companies have cut jobs, suggesting AI investments might lead to, you guessed it, even more layoffs in the future. JT, you've got your finger on the pulse of job seeking. What are the job seekers thinking about this new trend?
Yeah, well, first of all, that number is probably higher than 5%, 5.7%. Mm-hmm. We're not taking into account the people that are underemployed or, part-time gigging it that aren't into that mix. We've been way higher for a while. And the tech sector, started this in 2023. So they're hitting their peak, most definitely hitting their peak. I think they'll be in a lot of pain for the next 6 to 8 months. And then what you hope, right, the bigger the disruption, the bigger the innovation. This is when we're going to start to see a lot of new startups pop up, and that talent will find homes in these small little things that hopefully some will become unicorns, right? So we know that'll eventually happen, but the pain point right now is insane. And one of the best ways that we predicted is we look at just the emotion level on social and what we're seeing with our job seekers, and it is out of control. People are angry, scared. These are people with mortgages and lifestyles that are completely decimated. Has very much the vibe for me of when the .com bust happened. I was managing in the Silicon Valley at the time, and you were having these people holding on to get the salary they had before and the type of job they had before. They lost their 401ks, they lost their homes, and they still ended up in a job half the pay that they did before. And so we're out evangelizing, take the job, take the lower paying job. But that's not easy to say to somebody who, I'm not going to call it ego, but has spent a life building a career to watch it tumble back. Yeah. And so it is insane right now, super painful. And I think you just got to be really careful around people. Companies should be aware what they say, what they do, because that particular group of people, they got tech skills. They could do some pretty nasty things to your company, so be aware.
In the dot-com bust, I don't think there was a sense that the internet was not going to be a thing. I think there was a sense that, okay, things are going to shuffle around, companies are going to go out of business, but ultimately these developers will go to the companies that win, and those were Amazon and Google and some of the names that we know now. I feel like the fear now is the job ain't coming back.
Fair.
So to me, this is more than just let's batten down the hatches and suck it up and survive. This is, what the hell am I going to do? Yeah. Because you have developers that grew up with, you'll have a job forever. We will need developers forever. And now they look in the mirror and go, holy shit, I was sold this promise of riches and job security. That's gone now.
But I'm just going to jump in and say, if this isn't a heed for everybody, tech is always first. So we've been talking about AI making a lot of jobs not come back. It's every industry. It's not just tech. And people are in denial about that. And I think really just feel like, well, when it hits me and it happens to me, I'll deal with it then, which is a shame because there's a lot you could be doing right now to avoid that. And that's the part that I think is, someone works with job seekers every day. Like, what do you say to them when you're like, I'm sorry, you've been out of work 9 months, you drained everything. And no, that job you want you don't have a shot at it, because we also know that hiring is discrimination, and people who have a job get a job faster than people who don't have a job. So when you look at the vast majority of people that are laid off, and the longer they sit, it's like a house on the market. The longer it sits on the market, more people think something's wrong with it, right? So it's not just tech, but tech is that leading factor. The domino effect's happening. Not to be, a Debbie Downer, but we got to brace for this.
There's a popular marketing guy on LinkedIn that talked about, I think he said 70% of chief marketing officers will be extinct in the next few years. Like, it's going to hit all these white collar jobs. People don't know it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are enough companies to be started to employ all these people.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just going to tell you that I think we are coming full circle.
Yeah.
Everybody is a business of one. We have said that forever, but we went through an age where everybody worked for other companies. I think we are coming full circle, and that every job is temporary. And if we're all businesses of one, going forward, we will create multiple streams of income, and that is how you will survive. And it's possible. We live in a creator economy. Everybody has a skill set that they could monetize some way beyond just doing that regular job. I think that's going to be forced upon people to see if they're not already starting to pick that up. Case in point, gal in my social media feed, she's like, I was doing $30,000 a month. I instituted AI to run all of my marketing and do all my actions. She's like, I'm now making $100,000 a month. Mm-hmm. That there's so much opportunity. Yeah. I just think enough people aren't in pain yet for them to go force themselves to look at these other ways to monetize. But I am an optimist in that front. I really believe everyone can monetize. I look at, social platforms like LinkedIn is all in on video. All right, let us monetize. Maureen said that last time. Pay people for click. Better yet, let them sell some things that they, little courses that they've built or things that they've had. Like, why are we not there yet, allowing people to make money off of their knowledge beyond a job?
60% of the time, it works every time.
Chad, any thoughts?
Nope.
All right, let's go to ConverzAI, an AI recruitment startup from Seattle. They've raised $16 million in a Series A funding round led by Menlo Ventures. I think they were Jobster investors back in the day, Chad. The funds will support global expansion, team growth, and product enhancement. Their AI virtual recruiters automate hiring, promising to cut time to placement by up to 90%, boosting efficiency by 30%, and increasing revenue by 40% for clients. Chad, your thoughts on ConverzAI?
So take a look at the team first. Looks like, I don't know if it's a couple of brothers or cousins or something like that, but it looks like the founder and CEO and the COO, who have amazing Microsoft and Google backgrounds, looks like they're brothers. Good for them. Not in our space, though, although Tim Robbins, 18 years at Monster, Tiffany Hoffman, 22 years at Monster, and Kara Sheffel, almost 7 years at Monster. They're leading up pretty much sales, looks like go-to-market side of the house. So it's quite possible that ConverzAI has the tech, product, and industry knowledge, plus 16 million new reasons to bet on them. Mm-hmm. Here's my only word of caution. 2025 will be the year of agentic tech, and these types of companies will be popping up every 5 minutes. The question is, will this company have an edge over Paradox, Fountain, Harri, or even Phenom? What about long-standing brands like Smart Recruiters, who literally threw their roadmap out the window and now hyper-focused on building agentic tech? Mm-hmm. Apparently, companies like Workday are positioning themselves to be an AI-like company. But at the end of the day, ConverzAI seems like they're really focusing on the staffing sector, which means if they show momentum, they could get possibly acquired by a staffing company, or Bullhorn takes them off the market in less than 24 months. We've seen the biggest staffing companies in the world, like Adecco and Randstad. They have no fucking clue what to do with tech. No clue. They don't know it. They don't get it. They've tried it. So I really think that a company like Bullhorn, or a company trying to at least be more competitive with a Bullhorn, buying into an organization like this just makes good sense. Mm-hmm.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
This really made me go down memory lane, Chad. And
time for a History lesson.
That's right, kids. If you don't know Jobster, a company that shook things up back in the mid 2000s, they were from Seattle, which was
a mirage,
which was hip and cool at the time. Jason Goldberg, Google him. Anyway, so this brought back some memories of Jobster. I don't think we're anywhere near that kind of bubble of a company. I do have a question. Their homepage has an iPhone with headphones on talking to a microphone. I have no idea. That's like a podcast website. So I don't know who's doing their marketing, but that is totally like confusing to what you guys do. Anyway, I'm with you, Chad. This is a staffing play. They are laser focused on that. They have industry folks that will get them in there. I have in my notes, like, if Bullhorn isn't taking notes on this, like they're a miss. But we know that Bullhorn is historically makes some really good acquisitions. I'm sure they've got their eye on these guys. I would not be surprised if 12, 24 months, we have a story about ConverzAI getting acquired by Bullhorn, and having Bullhorn just conveniently plug in their technology into all the Bullhorn clients and making a ton of that coin, baby.
Give me that money.
That's right. This is a buy for me if we were playing buy or sell. JT, any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I like it for the reasons you talked about, Chad. I like non-industry founders who surround themselves with people who grew up in our space. Get them in a room together, and the people from our space get some fresh eyes from the tech standpoint, but the tech founders get the much needed perspective of how our industry operates, and together they make magic. I really like this for some reason. I agree with you. I think in a couple, 24 months, whatever, they're going to get acquired and go on and do great things. But this one, definitely a buy.
All right, we like it. Let's go on to some military news, Chad, something close to your heart. Newly minted Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was busy this week in a historic moment for the Army. Recruitment has surged. That's right. I said surged in the military.
You're teasing me. You naughty.
Anyway, surged to a level not seen or reported in the last 15 years, setting a new milestone for the organization. This follows years of recruiting challenges for the military and the Army. Chad, your thoughts on the surge?
Yeah, so the U.S. Army announced a sweeping overhaul of its recruitment strategy in October of 2023. Yes, 2023, which includes shifting focus toward recruiting young adults who have attended college rather than high school students. Okay, so what's the real reason why we're hitting our recruitment numbers? We've heard report after report after report about how young adults with expensive college degrees and student loan payments can't find jobs. Then the Biden administration, who forgave about 5 million of these individuals, but not all. That's where we're at. So it's like, where can we go after individuals who are in need? They need to pay the bills and they need to pay their college debt. That's the fucking fairy dust here, kids. It's not because young adults are excited to invade the Gaza Strip, lay on a beach, and start building fucking resorts. It's because those Americans are trying their damnedest to find a job, get out of debt, and in many areas of the United States, they have very limited choices. You either work in an Amazon warehouse and piss in a garbage can, or you join the United States military. As a 20-year veteran, I had limited opportunities out of Mansfield, Ohio. One of the reasons, and I wanted to get the fuck out of Mansfield, Ohio, which is one of the reasons why I did it. There are reasons for it, and I think the administration understood back in 2023 that these are the types of targets that we need to go to. Instead of just going after high school students, which is really the focus, let's go after the individuals who are, to be quite frank, really destitute and they need a job today.
But Chad, I'm confused because Hegseth tweeted, and I quote, America's youth want to serve under the bold and strong America First leadership of Donald Trump, end quote. Are you saying that's not the case?
I'm saying when you hire a drunken frat boy as your Secretary of Defense, anything could come out of his fucking mouth.
By the way, my 18-year-old, the parents got a text from the Army today about Cole joining the military. So they're texting now. They're texting now. He's going to Bloomington, baby. He's going to Bloomington. JT, any thoughts on the military surge?
Sidebar, I'm still getting those texts from my youngest daughter, and she's 3 years into school, so they're still sending out those texts. But
oh yeah, well, she's target now.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Chad's right. The level of people that have college degrees and college debt and can't even get a job that requires one is out of control. The number of people that have 2 degrees, I think one's bad enough. The number of people that overspent to get a master's or an MBA thinking that would differentiate them, down the drain. If someone is presenting an opportunity for you to get out of the weight that you're carrying and you can't see any other way out, you're going to do it. Right. And so I agree. That's what the surge is. And I love that you walked through that timeline. What worries me, though, is that, when you're in pain like that, anytime you're emotional in pain, you're not making smart decisions.
Yeah.
And so how many of these people are going to get in there and then when they have a chance to chill for a hot minute, go, oh my gosh, what did I just do? And I think that's going to be the next wave of news stories that we see coming out of that, which is unfortunate.
Oh, but wait, JT, there's more. There's more Hegseth. There's more Hegseth because it is Valentine's Day. Also in the news, Hegseth criticized military diversity initiatives, eliminated DEI programs, and ended Identity Month celebrations, arguing they divide the military force. Chad, any thoughts on the elimination of DEI programs in the military?
Again, who put the drunken frat boy in charge of defense? I just don't get it. So the U.S. population is 14% black, right? In the U.S. Army, the biggest U.S. military branch, it's 21% black soldiers. 14% population, 21% U.S. Army. Hispanics make up 19% of the U.S. population, of which 26% of the Marines are Hispanic. And when it comes to multiracial demographics, the U.S. population is at 3%, which I think is low. But the U.S. Navy is at 10%. So to actually be in the military, which drunken frat boy was, and not even understand the diversity of the millions of people he's supposed to be leading while smacking all of those diverse soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marines, and coasties in the face, that's not just bad form. It just might be. It might be the dumbest statement made in military history. And last but not least, for everybody hating on DEI, well, you'd better understand your asses are fucking safe today and have been for decades because of a diverse U.S. military, which allows you to be safe. Black and Hispanic soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and coasties keep your asses safe on a daily basis. So you better kiss that DEI square on the fucking lips.
What the hell does that mean?
I'm with Chad, dude. Whoever wants to pick up a gun and stand between me and an invading force of America, like, I don't care what your sex is, what you identify as, what your color is. Like, I don't give a shit. If you got a gun protecting me and my family, I'm in. That's all I got. JT, anything?
I just felt like that was his "you can't handle the truth" moment, right? I just wanted to get on camera and be like, look at me. And so, but I'm with both of you. It blows my mind to not respect that and quite frankly, embrace it, to think that we can step away from it. But I'm just hopeful that they will see the error of their ways.
Such a voice of reason, JT
right?
is.
Karma will come
let's
back.
Take a second. Let's take a moment to decompress and end the show with an OnlyFans story. What better way on Valentine's Day week to do?
Hospitality is the heart of our society. It brings people together to share great food, drinks, and experiences. But successfully managing a restaurant or hotel is no easy feat. That's where Harri comes in. Harri is the frontline employee experience platform that helps you build, manage, and engage great teams. With Harri, managers can easily find and hire top talent, manage timekeeping, and communicate with employees at any time from any place. Candidates and team members can quickly and efficiently apply for jobs, swap shifts, and access important information entirely from their mobile devices. And Harri's robust employee engagement tools make team members feel more connected than ever. With Harri, as an owner or operator, you get a bird's eye view of your business, from turnover cost, labor cost, employee sentiment, compliance risk, and team performance. Run your business better by understanding the power of your people. Because when your team is the heart of your business, Harri is the heartbeat. See how it transforms your business.
All right, guys. Banx Management, that's BANX. Traditional OnlyFans management company involves working with human models, which can include recruitment challenges, scheduling conflicts, high management overhead. Oh, but they've got a better answer, everybody. With AI-generated models, not real people, you eliminate the drama and the complexity of a traditional OnlyFans management company. These virtual models are created using advanced AI tools, allowing you to scale your agency, operate at lower cost, and enjoy fully automated hands-off business model. Each model, in quotes, can generate $5,000 to $30,000 per month or more, depending on your marketing and fan management strategies. Wow. That was a long way of saying there's an underbelly industry that I didn't even know existed about OnlyFans management, where apparently people will get it it's like a Subway franchise. They used to give you models and you would manage these models and get a cut. Well, now they have AI. You can have as many models as you fucking want. You get to keep all the profits, get them to do whatever you want. You market these things. I mean, I've talked about this for a long time. OnlyFans, whatever, it's going to be like $9 a month, have unlimited women, and whatever you're into. It's going to be AI. You're not going to tell the difference. I rarely can tell the difference between AI now and a real person. Like that divide is getting really small for me. So anyway, this is where we're going. My own personal opinion, the average OnlyFans creator makes $150 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. So as someone with a daughter, like, I'm applauding this trend, because how demeaning is it to like put your hoo-ha and your body on the internet only to be told it's only worth $150 a month, right? So you put yourself out there, demean yourself, embarrass yourself, and this stuff is out there forever. So I want to see less people, women, girls, whatever, on OnlyFans. And if it's AI that displaces this workforce, I'm okay with it.
Thoughts, JT?
Oh my God, I have so much to say. Is it my turn? Yeah.
No.
Mine's easy.
So,
the human race isn't long for this world. I mean, that's all I got.
Look, if you go look at CES, they interviewed the CEO of OnlyFans, and she knows what she's talking about. She sees the potential. I think she sees a future with lots of sister brands. OnlyFans can stay spicy, but they've figured out a really impressive business model over there. After we talked about it, I went deep diving and actually met and have spoken to somebody, a woman that makes a ridiculous amount of money on OnlyFans. She works very few hours a week, and she has a team that handles all of that relationship management and that piece, and happy to give a cut of it because the money is just pouring in. She doesn't even have to think about it. She just gets to be the creator. And by the way, there are a lot of creators on there that don't take their clothes off. There are a lot of creators on there doing, anything from the girlfriend experience to cooking to pottery. Like, there's a lot more to it. It's just been labeled and made its name for the spicy side of it. And so while we sit and laugh about it and we need jobs, there is a creator economy out there that is booming, and everyone can be doing different things. I think that this is just the beginning of people being able to monetize across all types of things.
And Burger King has salads, but no one goes there for the salads.
Don't go to OnlyFans. Don't go to OnlyFans, but replicate it and do it on something else. Why can't I, as a project manager, instead of being stuck in my project management, I do other things?
What I'm curious from your thoughts, like, these AI personalities, whether they're sexy women or whatever, the creator ecosystem is going to be inundated with AI people, in quotes, and it's good. Aren't they going to flood every sort of content creator industry?
Yeah, and then and then people are going to say, okay, give me the person that I know is an AI, and give me a way to authenticate that that's a real person, not AI, and then they'll build that, and they'll when you put that constraint on it, something else is going to be built from it. That's how it works. This is just the beginning. We're interested with AI. I love, that for you, you're like $9 a month, AI only. But then there are going to be people say, no, I'll pay $39 a month to know it's a real human being.
The premium service.
Yeah.
There's the premium service, and actually flesh and blood. Money. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there are tiers. There are tiers, and there's productization. And if Americans do anything well, it's building products and selling that shit. So yeah,
there you go.
I agree.
and then the sex bots will put all of them out of business. All right, let's get to
Humanity, baby. All
of them out of business. All right, let's get to
humanity, baby. Humanity.
Let's get to this
out the window.
This week's dad joke, shall we?
Okay,
guys, what's worse than two girls running with scissors? What's worse than two girls running with scissors?
Falling with scissors. I don't know.
Two girls scissoring with the runs.
Oh, that's just bad.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Oh,
we
bad.
out.
Oh, worse than open than kimono. Bad. Oh.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper jack. Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!